You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. Seattle Mayor Jenny Durkan has announced that $76 million will be cut from the Seattle Police Department 2021 budget and will be reallocating funds to other departments. But she is opposed to all of these cuts.
We know that not every 911 call requires an officer to arrive with a gun. In so many instances, people might be better served by a mental health professional, a firefighter, a dispute resolution specialist, or a social worker. Sometimes it takes both. Over the last decade, we've asked police to respond to so many of society and government's failures, including substance abuse, behavioral health crisis, and homelessness. But it's clear that law enforcement is not always the appropriate avenue to deal with these issues. We need to invest in community-based solutions that address the underlying root issues leading to these challenges. Community has made clear they want us to transform the Seattle Police Department and to reinvest in programs that provide this kind of community safety. As Chief Best and I continue going into a deeper analysis of the Seattle Police Department's budget, and most important, the personnel and departments that we need, we have quickly identified some common sense transfers, reorganizations, and reductions that we can make for next year's budget. Today, the Chief and I are announcing an initial $76 million in reductions to the 2021 budget. These initial actions will keep 911 service accessible and available 24/7 in every part of the city, with appropriate response times in every neighborhood. We have that obligation as we work through this process of reimagining and restructuring community safety in Seattle. $56 million will be transferred out of the department's 2021 budget by moving the following functions to civilian law enforcement oversight. The 911 call center will be moved out of the Seattle Police Department. The Parking Enforcement Division will be moved out of the Seattle Police Department and into the Seattle Department of Transportation. The Office of Emergency Management and Office of Police Accountability also will be moved out of the Police Department. In addition, we've identified an initial $20 million in cuts by not expanding the force in 2021 and making reductions to overtime.
Joining us right now is Kelly Bethea, communications strategist, Dr. Jason Nichols, Department of African American Studies, University of Maryland, and then we'll be joined by Julianne Malveaux in just a second. Jason, I want to start with you. The thing here that is interesting is that the mayor is not happy, but in a democracy, guess what? She's simply been outvoted. But what they are doing in Seattle is exactly what people are talking about, and that is stop spending so much money on law enforcement and figure out and go back to actually what we used to be. What I mean by that is you used to have cities and counties that had community health centers, that had community services centers, that had places that where people could go get support for various things. We turn this whole thing and just dumping it all into law enforcement. This makes sense.
No, I agree with you 100%. I think one of the things that a metaphor that I always use is that, we have a leak, and in order to fix the leak, we put a bucket down. Police are supposed to be the last resort. So instead of actually fixing the leak, we just try to get a bigger bucket every time, and that's problematic. I think that we have a lot of problems in our society that need to be addressed at the root cause. I think some of the changes that they're making in Seattle just are common sense, like the parking thing being controlled by the Department of Transportation. To me, that makes perfect sense. That does not need to be a police issue. That's something that needs to be
Jason, hold tight 1 second, Jason. We're having significant problems with your audio, so I want us to fix that. We're actually getting a loop there. Kelly, I'll go to you.
No, I echo the sentiments of Jason here. I think that it makes complete sense that money is allocated to the services in Seattle that will actually be attentive to those issues. Like Jason was saying, putting parking initiatives with the police department doesn't really make any sense. It should be with the Department of Transportation. We need to get back to a sense of community and stop being so militant in our society. And that's really what we've transferred to. We've transferred and transformed, rather, from a society that is communal and familial, in a sense, to one that is very anti whatever you're against, and very militant, very black and white, very binary. And the issues in Seattle, and really in all major metropolitan cities in the U.S., they're not binary issues. They are well-rounded, complex, complicated issues that require more attention outside of just policing. We have mental health issues. We have housing issues. We have parking issues. And for whatever reason, all of that has been burdened onto the police department in all these respective areas. And Seattle's finally making a step to actually alleviate some of that burden. It's not necessarily, getting rid of cops. It's allocating funds to where they're supposed to be.
Well,
it's moving money around.
Right.
And I just applaud that.
And what it forces people to do, Jason, it forces leaders to stop with the one-stop shop and to think their way through, think about different ways in order to govern a city.
Right, I agree 100%. This is something that's, seems to make perfect sense, and it makes the leaders more accountable to their constituents, rather than just saying, oh, well, there's crime, so we're going to add more police, or everything becomes about policing rather than about, societal problems. And one of my only issues with the comment, or with the slogan "defund the police," was that it sounded punitive against police, when in fact it's not punitive. It's actually taking a burden off of their shoulders and actually putting things in the right places and making the leadership more accountable, which actually benefits everybody, including police.
Absolutely. And so bottom line is this is a good move. I say to the mayor, get over your hurt feelings and deal with it, because we're going to see more of this. All right, folks, back to our Roland Unfiltered video in just one moment. All right, folks, Ceek is a black-owned company founded by Mary Spiel, a sister from Ghana. She is, of course, the inventor of these two devices here. One of them is a virtual reality headset, which basically allows for you to pop your phone, your Android or your Apple phone, right into here, and allows you to see the content on their website, Ceek.com, in virtual reality. You also can look at other videos on YouTube that are 360-degree videos. And so this headset is available on the website. Also, their headphones, these 360-degree 4D headphones right here, which also comes with the wired cable, also microphone jack as well. You got Bluetooth. You can use this for gaming if you want to, music, videos, you name it. Fantastic sound as well. A sister, she sent me a tweet. She said, why didn't I tell her about the bass in these headphones? Because she said that she has a bass head in her house. And so her son decided to grab her headphones. I said, no, boo, tell your son to go buy his own. If you want to get these products, again, supporting black-owned businesses that support this show, go to Ceek.com. Use this promo code RM. You see it right here, RMVIP2020, RMVIP2020. And so when you buy their products, you also are supporting Roland Martin Unfiltered. So we certainly appreciate that. With the folks at Ceek.com, Ceek.com.